Marc-Andre Fleury played his last game in Montreal Thursday, stopping all 19 shots he faced for his third shutout at the Bell Center. In fact, the last time he had a shutout at the Bell Center, 2021, that's when he played for Chicago, and it was the same night he picked up win number 500 in the NHL. Oh, I know what that music means. It's time for me to walk over to the other side of the expansive Studio 9 to hang around with another goaltender from Quebec, Marty Biron. Though you do live in Buffalo now, or around Buffalo.
I feel like we're in the club in Montreal after a big win. That's the way. That's what Flowers doing tonight.
That's what Flowers doing tonight, exactly. So I mentioned, yeah, you're in a unique position to understand what this might mean to Marc-Andre Fleury, being from Quebec, being a goaltender. Can you put us in his head a little bit, what he might be feeling?
I was a little nervous because I'm like, this is not something you experience all the time, right? When you've gone to Stanley Cup finals, you've gone to big games, but to have your family there in your last game, how are you emotionally going to respond? So he responded the perfect way. And that was funny because he made saves that are Marc-Andre Fleury asks, right? The two-pad stack with the poke check. Slavkovsky hits the post, he rubs the post. Then he has the steal on Josh Anderson in the slot. So all of those are like, he basically bottled up his old career and brought it one last time in Montreal in front of his fans to get the shutout, his first of the year, to get the win. You know what the difference between Marc-Andre Fleury and myself? There's two big differences.
Okay, let's hear it.
I lost my last 6 games in Montreal. Maybe I was getting a little older and I enjoyed the city the night before a little too much.
Right, I get it.
And there's 342 wins that separates us. I'm at 230. He's at 572.
Still, no one could blame me for enjoying Montreal too much. I don't even know if that's a thing. How can you enjoy it too much?
You can't.
No.
I mean, when you lose the next day, it's never good. But I had a good time. Let's just put it that way.
I appreciate that. And yet, you know, it's such a unique phenomenon I find in Montreal. Like, Fleury never played there. And yet it's almost like, you know, because he grew up there and he idolized Patrick Roy, like you've talked to me about, there's an ownership that Quebecois fans feel for him, right?
And he got that respect and that recognition by the fans in Montreal. This was great. And obviously they wanted to support their team in trying to push them more into the mix and get into a playoff spot. But all the fans in Montreal stayed in their seat. This is a 3-0 game with the goalie out, and they're still there. Usually you're running to the exits. You're like, hey, can I get home? And then it's 4-0. The fans are chanting his name. There was one point in the third period, Jay, where they stopped after a commercial break. They did a whole video montage, the fans giving, and Marc-Andre's like, let's play, come on. He's showing, and they wouldn't sit down, they wouldn't quiet down, so they were waiting, and he was smiling, like, he's like, come on, let's go, and he smiled, the big smile on his face. That's who he is. So, yes, there's the on-ice portion of it, but there's the off-ice, the person that he is, the heart that he has. I think that's what everybody was trying to celebrate in this game.
Okay. If he does indeed make good on his promise and retire this year, that means that, because you never know, maybe he wants to come back. But if he does retire this year, Marty, that would mean he'd be Hall of Fame eligible in 2028. First ballot for you?
100%. Look, Roberto Luongo, Marty Brodeur, Marc-Andre Fleury, those are probably the top 3 goaltenders of the last 25 years when you look at Quebec goaltenders. And they've all left their marks in different ways. Like Luongo was Olympic golds, right? Marty Brodeur was everything in this regular season success. Marc-Andre Fleury, when he was 32 years old, and he was basically winning Stanley Cups in Pittsburgh as a backup to Matt Murray, I was thinking, will he ever be a #1 goalie again?
Right.
Then he says, okay, I'll go to Vegas. I'll be the expansion goalie. It could have gone the wrong way. He was a big reason why the Vegas Golden Knights got to the Stanley Cup in year 1. And he was so loved in Vegas. And I feel like the last 8 years, his game has not dropped off. He's still playing at a very high level. But when he left Pittsburgh at 32 years old, there was a question mark there. Will he be the same Marc-Andre Fleury that he was when he was at his prime? And he's shown it in Vegas and more in Minnesota as well. So I think this is just fantastic.
I couldn't agree with you more that his play has not dropped off. And you got me thinking, who cares about the Four Nations face-off? Why didn't we just make him the goalie? Why didn't we
Even if he'd have been just the third guy, just to be on the team and be the great teammate that he is, he would have, and he probably could have played because of how well he's played lately.
We should have been running that team.
Well, maybe we can make a couple phone calls. There's still changes that
That's
can
true.
be made.
That's true. We haven't dropped
Although
the
Logan
puck yet.
Thompson would say, I should be there
That's
first.
true,
but
too.
yes.
That's true, too. Hey, Thursday night start, Marc-Andre Fleury's 1,043rd career start in the National Hockey League. What a career. Marty, this is a blast.
508.
Still pretty good.